Let's start then. Um, Today, we would be discussing about how to use technology in teaching. This is the masterclass all about, and I really, really believe that everyone, you all would be able to understand what technology, how technology, everyone knows what technology is. Basically, how are we supposed to use technology in teaching? How we can implement teaching in our classrooms? Let me introduce myself first. I'm Mohammed Sabit. I am also, just like you, PGC till graduate, as many of you are. Uh, I also got graduated from Surasa itself, and I've got so many insight from Surasa in terms of technology development, pedagogy, how to use, how to integrate technology with pedagogy, and many other things related to it. Also, I'm also into taking classes for students all around the world by my own firm known as Zapslearn. And I have 4 years of experience in tech-based learning, and I'm also center head for academics at Byju's Tuition Center. So Byju's, as you all know, it's one of the largest edtechs in the world. I work with them very closely to understand how technology can be integrated with learning, so that everyone around the world would be having uh, would be getting to know about uh, would be having a hand towards education. And also, I always try to monitor the advancement of technology in teaching. I'm sure that we would be having a fun, engaging session together. All right. Um, Before starting with the classes, I would really like to explain some of the masterclass expectations that we're having from this one. To start with, please be respectful towards others during the presentation. You should be always, encouraging each other towards all the while that we are talking about the entire duration of this presentation. And please keep your mics muted unless you're asked to speak. Otherwise, it's going to interrupt the entire session, right? We don't want to interrupt our session in any way. And also, please be aware of your camera. Make sure that if you are turning on the camera, make sure that you are in an appropriate condition. In an appropriate condition. Okay. Also, if you have any doubts or something, or if you have a question, you can always raise your hand. There's an option for that. And please help me to create a positive learning environment over here so that we all would be benefiting, right? Okay. Um, let's talk about the takeaways, what we are going to get from this particular masterclass. From this masterclass, I'm sure that I would be able to, while by the end of this masterclass, you would be able to become friends with technology, like most of us would be having when we move from one place to another, when we change schools, or when we change from one organization or institute to another, the technology over there changes, and how to we might be scared of that. So, how to become friends with technology, how to understand the base of it, and how to integrate technology with pedagogy, and to evaluate and identify appropriate technology tools from my classroom. What technology shall I use for my classroom and how to use them? That is something that we would be talking all around over here. Let's go there. Um, this is a kind of question that I'm giving. I would love to hear your opinions on the same. Can AI replace teachers? Is technology our friend or rival? Let me know about it. You can give your answers over there in the chat. Let's see. Can AI replace teachers? Is technology our friend or rival? Both of them. I need answers for both of them. Many of you are giving such great answers. Yes, I would like to say that AI cannot, for sure, AI cannot replace us because we are teachers. We understand our students pretty well, more than any technology that comes around, right? Technology will get updated itself day after day, but only humans can understand each other, right? Only we can understand what happens with one another. Yeah. Yes, and is technology our friend or rival? Definitely, it is our friend, right? Technology is going to be our friend forever. It's not going to be our rival at all. How can we make technology our friend? That is something that we are going to discuss here. All right. Uh, Talking about evolution of tech in teaching, I'm sure that while I was growing around, I had this blackboard over there in my school, and we used to go there with the chalks and we used to write. I think many of the schools are still in the same, or many of the schools have smart boards, TVs, and everything coming around. There are whiteboards, right? There are whiteboards now. The technology has advanced. There are whiteboards. We started to use. I still remember the first advancement that I got in my learning. period was this whiteboard with a marker, like red, white, yellow color markers that used to be available. So it was a fancy thing then. And now it got changed. Like that, I don't know if that can be considered as a technology, but it was fancy for me then. My teachers were, using all those things over there and at that particular point. And then came smart boards where they use projectors towards these whiteboards. That's a different thing. But then came smart boards where teachers were able to write on it. I think still many schools are using smart boards. Right now, many schools are using interactive platforms. What do you mean by interactive platforms? They are something slightly different from smart boards that we have. They are actually something that is more student friendly, more learner friendly, more teacher friendly kind of technological tool. We would be discussing about it later. Anyhow, from having, throughout in the past 20 years or 15 years itself, from normal blackboards to interactive platforms, there has been total changes that we have been seeing throughout, right? So, what do you think? What do you think about the technology that we would be, in the future is all about? What do you think how the technology would be in the future? Yes, AI in a controlled manner. Yes, AI in a controlled manner. Definitely AI is going to be in a controlled manner. That's something in the future. So that is what we are going to talk about over here, right? So we are right now living in an era where there is the starting part of AI is. I would like to denote the starting part of AI. Definitely AI has gone through a long run till now. If I'm starting to talk about ChatGPT itself, I'm sure that we might have we might have seen how ChatGPT has taken over there in the past year. Our students used to submit the projects from the taking the notes from the and then they would be submitting it, and then we would be the one who would be submitting. Did my child actually do this? We would be thinking like this. I can't believe my student did this. And then slowly we started to understand the fact that, okay, this thing is happening. And then we started to check for plagiarism. We asked ChatGPT itself, okay, did you write this ChatGPT? And then we put the question mark and ask him. And ChatGPT replies to us. What does it reply? I wrote it. Or sometimes then later it start to give the reply that I didn't write it, but it was written by it. There was some other AI like Quillbot, which actually paraphrases what ChatGPT gave, right? So AI is like developing like anything in such a way that we don't know what is truth and we don't know what is going to happen in the future. So we definitely have, I'm sure that most of you have gone through the same thing, right? So technology is developing and it's kind of impossible for us to look over there in that way, like, okay, who did this and did I take this in the right way, or did my child that did this? Because you cannot control the boards are expanding like anything, but we should be able to control our children using them. We would be discussing about them in the next part, talking about which right now, I'll be leading you towards a social media activity. There is a link that would be shared right now over there on the chat box. You can click on the follow button right over there, and there is a post over there. The first post that which AI tool do you use for teaching in your classroom? Kindly click over there and post what you think about it. Do comment what you think about it over there. You can click the follow button, though you would be able to get a lot of insights regarding, you would be able to uh, get updates about AI teaching technology, how to integrate technology with pedagogy, and a lot of things related to it. You would be able to get from them. Uh, I'm expecting, I can see a lot of comments. ChatGPT magic should school AI, ChatGPT, and Google Bard and ChatGPT Bard. Most of you have given me ChatGPT as the answer for sure. ChatGPT is such a savior, isn't it? All thanks to him, because we can integrate ChatGPT to literally everywhere. If you want to use him in Excel, you can use him in Excel. Google Sheet, you can use him in Google Sheet. Google Doc, you can use him in Google Doc. Microsoft Word, you can use him in Microsoft Word. Anywhere you want. If you want to create a question paper, here we go. Just type over there, you get the perfect question paper, right? So definitely AI has helped us, but still we are still worried whether are we lagging behind in terms of technology. What's happening? Like my students are running way ahead of me. Definitely they are. They are having that young, bright, vibrant mind with them, right? So what we need to do over there is throughout the time we should be getting updated. Most of the time we are able to we move back a little bit because of the fact that we are not ready to update ourselves. Technology is growing so fastly. Sometimes we don't see its growth, but we see its grown version. The best example that I can give is ChatGPT that you just told me. A year ago, we didn't even think, we never thought that something like ChatGPT would be coming up, did we? We never did. So actually, if I talk about the starting of ChatGPT, it was released in 2018. But still, we get to know about the fact that ChatGPT was released and it became viral over there in the past year. We just go to know about it in just 1 year, even though it was released in 2018, and it was they started working on it since 2015. So what happened over there was, even in 2018, 2017, all those times we had artificial intelligence like Google, like Google Assistant were the right, and then we had Alexa and so many AI tools to help us throughout in all the world. But we never thought about the fact that something like this, you put something, you prompt something, and it would be giving us an answer like this, would be popping up all the way around. Within one day, our lives changed, our students' life changed, our lives changed, right? Almost everything changed over the throughout. So using significant databases and researchers, something like this came up. For sure, let me tell you this thing. Something is getting cooked up somewhere that can help us in the future, and we should be aware of it. We should be getting updated about it. Tomorrow, a revolution can change our classrooms as well. Something like ChatGPT or something better than that. Something definitely ChatGPT has already come. So what's going to come in the future? Something better than that is going to come out. So we should be prepared for it. We should be technologically aware about it. What is happening all around us? We should be also known about the things about pedagogy. How can I implement all those technologies towards my teaching skills? How can I help my students learn? I mean, teach all those things, right? We should be always be aware about all those things. Now, I'm going to give you a poll question right over the work technology can help. Do you think technology would be helpful in planning or in delivery or in assessment? Now, I have given you a poll question right over there. Here we go. You can see that most of you have answered it for planning, some of you have answered it for delivery and assessments as well. Really cool. I have to say that most of you are having awareness about it. And I really have to say that, yes, technology definitely helps in all three of them. It helps in planning, it helps in delivery, and it helps in assessment, everything, right? I cannot just give one particular topic as one particular uh, point as the poll question. But unfortunately, I don't have an option to give you check boxes throughout, right? In a poll question. All right. Let's discuss about what technology can help us throughout in entire thing. It's not just in planning or giving an instruction or an assessment or in delivery or something. It's in the entire teaching. While you are inside the classroom, while you're outside the classroom, you can use technology throughout to make sure that your students are getting engaged, the students are living in a safe environment online, and to plan the class, to give instructions throughout the class, in terms of managing your classrooms, in terms of differentiating your classrooms or students over there throughout multiple levels, multiple ways you can differentiate your classrooms. You can give assessments that to customized assessment, just like a differentiation part, customized assessments towards your students. And that too within seconds. I'm not saying you should create an assessment. No, it gets created by its own, by understanding the level of students. We would be discussing about that, don't worry. And then data collection, in terms of collecting data, and in terms of reflection, and in terms of feedback, everything, everywhere we would be using technology. Technology helps us in teaching. Literally in every step of teaching, we can ask for help with technology. It helps us to grow, it helps us to understand, it helps us to upgrade ourselves all the time. Let's start with one of the main aspect of technology, which is about big data. I'm sure that most of you have gone through the course of Surasa on technology part, right? Where we discuss about big data. Even I have done about the course, and it's really helpful for you to understand about big data. We won't be discussing how to use the big data here, but I'll be just giving you some insights regarding big data over here throughout. Now, what is data? Every technology is linked with data. You need information. You need to feed, right? You need to feed something to the system. So you need to feed it, then only it would be able to give you output. So what happens over there is technology advancement definitely helps us teachers in terms of creating in terms of creating every pedagogy standards like planning, instruction, classroom management, everywhere we need it, right? So big data as per what we give as input, it would be giving certain output to us. In terms of planning, let's start with planning part. If you need to, let's say that you need to create a lesson plan for a particular class. Now, you might have taken the class over there in the previous year as well. Let's say sixth grade students. You might have taken the class for sixth grade students over there, right? But however, these sixth grade students might be different from the other one. So but you can integrate the same topics here, the same topics, but in a different way. So you can use your AI tools. You can use the data that you stored last year or last to last year, right? You would be able to integrate a lot of things over there throughout. Second thing is about the instruction. Depending upon the class that you are dealing with, you would be able to take instruction. You would be able to know what type of instruction shall I give for what kind of class. The data that I give input. Let's say from a particular assessment, I conducted a baseline assessment for a class. I conducted a baseline assessment. From the baseline assessment, I get to know what I got a data. I right now have a data which contains my students have no like very less base about fractions. So what shall I do though? I should be able to understand. My system would be taking this data. I would be able to see that, okay, this data is giving me this analysis. I would be able to go over there. Most of the time, what happens is we know how to enter the data in our system, in Excel, in G Sheet, but we don't know how to use them. What's the point then? At that particular point, what's the point? So that is exactly where we need to understand. We need to understand how to use this data, not just entering the data, but to use this data. So taking insight matters a lot. From this data, what we can take, what can be understood from this data. Also, in terms of differentiation, what kind of students from the data that I have, I've got the assessment results here right now with me. So from this baseline assessment, I would be able to differentiate who are my kinesthetic learners, who are going to be my, visual learners, right? What kind of learning theory should I give over there in my classroom? Again, it goes to the instruction and planning part again, once again. Again, data collection, it helps me in data collection as well. It also helps me in reflection and feedback as well. Can you help me how? Can anyone put over there on chat how exactly it is going to give me reflection? Yes, very good. I can see so many moment generators looking for key point. We can take reflection from students itself, like we would be able to take feedbacks from students, parents, right? And also reflection from other parts as well. Great. I can see so many answers coming through. Yes, you are right. We can, technology is helping us over there as well. And from those feedback, sometimes what happens is some windows used to pop up on a scale of 1 to 10. How much would you rate your teacher? 1, 2, 3. Sometimes this happens that I yell at my students. They might be noisy in the class, and then I might be yelling at my students for a while, and then they would be giving 0 stars. Right? This happens. No, they didn't do that. They would never do that. Most of the time, it's all about understanding about students. They get to know that, okay, we are yelling because we have done something wrong, right? So most of the time it doesn't happen, but yeah, there are times that happen for me as well. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how much would you rate your teacher? Straight to 0 because he yelled at me. The reason, right? Uh, this thing used to happen throughout, and yes, those feedbacks we would be able to analyze. We would be able to give an analysis to the feedbacks given by parents, which are most important one, because parents understand their kids very well. You can you really don't have to ask them every time to come towards the classroom for PTM or something. You can actually send a weekly survey or something, how well your student understood about it, and you would be able to inculcate a lot in it. Now, what happens over here is I would like to talk about technology, data, and pedagogy over here. Now, once you have the data, it's important for you to analyze it to uh, reflect the classroom outcomes, right? It's very important. You are having data with you, but how to analyze it? Now, there are certain technology tools that you can use for it. In Excel itself, if you're using Excel, you can use it in Excel. If you have G Sheet, you can use in G Sheet. Um, these insights or analysis based on charts, based on graphs, based on infographics would be helping you to understand so many things. You would be able to understand what to do next, which student to focus, what topic to focus, what topic to teach next, what mode of assessment shall I give or shall I conduct for my students next. Should it be an open-ended assessment or should it be a closed assessment? What kind of assessment should I conduct? Are they ready for a summative assessment? Everything, every data we would be able to overview from a single infographics. So data actually feeds all aspects of teaching and learning. Data feeds in my planning. Data feeds in my instruction. I would be able to see what kind of instruction shall be given for my students. Data feeds for my classroom management. Data feeds for my differentiation in my classrooms, right? Data feeds for my assessments, data collection, reflection, feedback. Literally everywhere I would be using data. So what tool to use, what to use, and why is actually fed by data. Data drivers in terms of that. Let's talk about classroom dynamics now. Definitely for tech, I'm sorry. Definitely in terms of classroom dynamics, it talks about the arrangement of a classroom. Now, for sure, different classrooms would be having different aspects. If it's an art-based classroom, it's going to be different from a math classroom. It's going to be different in terms of science-rich classroom, right? It's going to be having some would be having whiteboard, some would be having smart boards, some would be having a television, as you can see over here, right? Um, Technology actually helps us on the basis of planning. What's my plan for the lesson would be helping me. Let's say that there are group activities more. Okay, you arrange your classroom like this. It can give me an insight. Arrange your classroom like this and conduct these kind of assessments. And the kind of reflections that you might be getting or the topics that you need to focus over here is going to be this one. So you are able to use technology in terms of arranging your classrooms, and it can define my classroom dynamics, activities, assessment, student engagement, physical structure, everything I would be able to get from here, right? So we have already reached the advanced part of it. Technology is helping us to arrange our classrooms as well. And in the future, I can see that maybe, which you might have seen in virtual reality classrooms are coming up, metaverse coming up, right? Mark Zuckerberg is actually working on it. You can see our students wearing VR glasses next time to the class, right? And they would be sitting and watching all those videos, whatsoever is in the a virtual world, probably, right? Okay. Uh, from there to here, while we are having a classroom dynamics over there throughout, we should understand what's happening in our. We need to manage our classrooms as well. Now, how to manage our classroom? That is discussed over here in LMS. Now, what is an LMS? It's a learning management system where we would be able to track the record of our students, our classrooms, our institute, our teachers, our resources that we have, everything in one single platform, accessible for everyone, everything in a controlled way. So learning management system and online platforms actually facilitate the organization on course materials, assignments, and assessments, right? And also it would be linking teachers, students, parents along with it, right? These learning management systems actually promote collaboration, and it also helps us to communicate with each other. And also it would be helping us to go through seamless, it would be helping us with, we are having a lot of accessible resources within the limit that we are having, right? So an LMS would be having several uses in terms of planning, in terms of instruction, classroom management, everywhere. We would be discussing them one by one. Starting with the first one, the major one, the important one, the content management. What do you mean by content management? We would be definitely sharing a lot of data with our students, like in terms of worksheet, in terms of PowerPoint. I mean, the slides that we share with our students, the notes that we share with our students, the homework data that we share with our students. All these things would be, they can just open their LMS. The students can log into their learning management system, and though it would be, they would be able to download whatever the resources that they have over there in one single platform. So in terms of, I can also differentiate my students on the basis of learning management system, right? For example, what kind of homeworks can be going for what kind of students? It can be customized as per the student requirement, right? So if the student is actually performing really well in terms of fractions, I would be teaching him the rational numbers because negative numbers comes over the off topic. But yeah, some negative, something really difficult than fractions, I would be teaching them that, right? And then we can use it for collaborative learning as well, where students would be able to sit together. We can group our students together and we can ask them to sit on a project. And we can also monitor how their work is going on rather than, we can see the progress of their work. If I'm giving randomly towards students, okay, you do this work, your group has to do this work. I don't know what they are doing actually at their home. So, but if we have an LMS, we can see what our students are doing, what they are communicating regarding it, what's the progress, and we can ask the students directly, okay, how's the progress going on a particular project? We can give it in terms of online assessments as well. We can see that how a particular assessment is working for each and every single student. We can give different assessment for different students, and we can see how assessment, we can see how different assessment have impacts on different students as well. Whether have they improved from the past assessment, they have they had they gone down, we would be able to get a lot of data on the same, right? We can use it for the major part, which is attendance tracking, right? Attendance is very important. We know how important attendance is. For students are reducing the attendance, it means the student is not actively participating in our classrooms. They are having certain issues in our class, or they are having some physical, they are having some problems related to attending the class. So we should be able to track the attendance as well. And over here, in one single platform, we would be able to get all the details related to the student. We would be having the students would, we can also customize the learning path of the student. Okay, let's say that I started rational numbers for seventh graders, but there is this child of mine who has no idea what fraction is. How can I teach this child rational numbers then? So for him, I'll be teaching him the sixth grade. I'll be taking the worksheets from sixth grade or fifth grade, and then I'll be providing to him, in his learning management system. I might be having some videos about it, what fractions are and how to deal with fractions. I can also share the same thing with him so that I don't have to specifically intend to sit for him alone. He can watch it at his own pace. At his own pace, he would be able to watch it at his own pace. He would be able to do the workout so that for the next class, when he comes for the next class, he can ask doubts related to it, and quickly we can move towards the next session. So that in imagine a classroom without this system. A student who has no idea about fraction coming to a rational number classroom. So there, if there is no technology, I wouldn't be able to help him in it. I have to, because all my other students are very thorough with rational fractions. So I can go with rational numbers except for him. So at that particular point, I have to focus on him, right? I cannot do that, right? I can't, I won't be able to do that. So I have to call him for remedial. Again, time is, I'm losing my time. While I have resources like this, I can use it over there in terms of technology. Again, LMS is become, LMS is useful over there as well. And we are having loads of resource sharing. I'm sorry. We can use them for resource sharing and many other purposes as well. Mobile learning, they can use it at any particular point, at anywhere they want, while they go to while they are in the bus, while they are in the car, while they're at home, wherever they are, they would be able to use it. Also, it can be used for integration with other tools. Like some schools use it for uh, some schools might be having collaboration with some other institutes who teaches robotics and all. So they can collaborate with the elements that they have. Okay, this student have enrolled for this, and this is the progress in that. They can give that as well. LMS also helps in complaints and reporting. If there are any students who are having issues with it or any particular thing, they can always come and in terms of giving feedbacks, we can use it over there as well. Talking about which, the classroom dynamics also is required over there in our entire the way that we present our classes as well, right? The way that I teach my students as well. In terms of that, you can use smart boards. You can use, there are technological advancements are there in terms of smart boards, uh, interactive panels. There are normal projectors that are over there in schools. Whatever it is, you can actually integrate it with your classrooms in a much better way, depending upon the technology that we use. You can use it in planning, right? They What an interactive board can do is it can, as the name suggests, it would be helping in increasing the engagement of students. And teachers would be able to collab with us, I mean, with students in terms of, for example, let's say that I'm giving a kind of poll question for students. I can click on just one single button over there on the board. And if the students are having devices, students would be getting the popular, okay, the poll question. This is the poll question that they're having. So students would be having an awareness. And most of the schools are now moving towards the technology part. So we should be aware about it. All those poll questions, just like what we have, schools will be having tablets or other gadgets that would be coming soon for students to deal with. I mean, for students to actively participate, because technology increases the engagement. Now, not only this, this could be an interactive platform or an interactive panel or smart board would be helping in multimedia integrations. Like you would be able to integrate multiple tools like videos. You would be able to show some picture, or you can even open the map and say that, okay, this guy was standing here, from here to here he went. So from north, if I need to move to more north, most of the time students would be having confusions related to where is north, where is south, where is east, right? So what happens in east, west? So actually visual learners would be able to have a lot of idea related to it. Also, in terms of real-time collaborations as well. If you need to put a classroom over there and you need to discuss certain things with your students in group, you can group your students over you though using the integrate, using the same interactive panel. And there are dynamic lesson deliveries that you can do within it. You can annotate on the screen. You can switch between multiple applications. Let's say I'm a math teacher. Being a math teacher, I can compare it with drawing a graph on a graph-based application. So I was writing something on the blackboard. I really need to switch towards the graph part. So for that, I can actually move within one single click. I would be able to move towards the graph application that I was using. There are many mathematical tools that you can use. Also, there are simulation apps which can actually help you to show ask students to let's say you need to mix hydrochloric acid with some base to show that salt and water is produced or something. I don't know if I'm saying it right because I'm not a science teacher, but I believe that I'm saying it right. Uh, so yeah, so you can actually use the simulation tools over there on the interactive panel to show students that okay, this is how it actually works. So in terms of planning, in terms of instruction, you can give instructions to your students in terms of that. You can deliver your classes in that. You can manage your class in a better way using interactive panels. You can also conduct small assessments like poll questions, open-ended questions, raise your hand once. All those assessments can be conducted through the same thing. You would be able to collect data. You would be able to get reflection from the students. If the students are happy, they can give, again, the reward-based program, the feedback-based program. Everything comes around in one single corner. Now, if you look over here, as per one of the survey that was conducted, the traditional lectures would be giving 5% engagement of the students, while a technology run uh, classroom would be giving like around 45 to 50% less engagement would be there in that classroom. I think you all might have seen that as well. All the students would be able to collaborate as a differentiate among the students, and what the right student needs, which student needs what, depending upon that, they would be given the right asset and right resource. So definitely the engagement is more over. The students would be happy that okay, they did something. The confidence is getting boosted. So they would be able to pop that up. I hope this is clear. Let's move to the next part where we would be discussing about the assessment part. Now, for sure, this has been a headache for us all. We don't know if we are keeping, during the COVID time, we all have gone through this. Um, our students, we used to give assessments to our students. We don't know if they're actually doing it by themselves or they are doing it by someone else, or they are using help of something or some tools or something, right? Again, there are so many e-proctor tools that are around the world right now who can actually see what they are doing, and they would be giving warnings throughout it. If they are not supposed to change their tab, they're not supposed to change their view. They should be always there on the frame. They would be giving notifications on it. There are so many e-proctors that are adaptively working on it. And apart from that, if you look over here in terms of the assessment part, and I just talked about the technology part, let's go to the pedagogy part. In terms of adaptive learning, don't you think technology helps in creating adaptive assessments for students? It definitely does, right? Let's say that depending upon the student learning, okay, this student has a slight idea about, let's say, integers. So I should give him a lighter amount of question. Whatever he have learned, about that, we would be asking the question. So adaptive learning, the student would be getting the question or customized question papers or question for the student, right? And it also gives the students an immediate feedback. The students would be able to get an immediate feedback. Okay, these were the questions that went wrong, and this is the reason why it went wrong, right? We don't have to say that what went wrong, and students would be able to analyze the things by themselves. Also, we can also have rich media integration, which basically means that you can add videos, we can add pictures, much better pictures than what we get as a printed one. Also, for kids like, junior KG, higher, like, first grade kids, for them, we can use gamification based assessments as well for counting, for alphabets, for understanding the alphabets, and we can use gamification even for students who are over there and then in a category who are learning science and all, they can use it. For example, simulations, science simulations, they can use it. They can use HCl in one hand and they can use some other salt in another hand or some other base in another hand, mix them, what is going to happen. So they can use over there as well, right? So automated scoring helps us understand one. Another benefit is that automated scoring help would be, there to help us throughout. We don't have to invest a lot of time in, marking or grading the students throughout. Also, there are different security measures throughout. There are anti-cheating features are there. Yes, it is developing. I understand the complexity of it. It is developing and it will be developed in the future as well. For sure, things would be changing in the next part. Once we have got that, we would be having something like this. We are having the data of assessment of our students. Now, as you can see here, there are once the assessment is conducted, we would be getting a report. Let's say this is about polynomials and linear equations for a grade 10 students. I would be able to understand for which topic, how much students go understood about, let's say that I gave algebraic identities, how many students understood about it? Only 7% understood about it. Algebraic solution, 16% were able to answer. So I would be able to get a lot of idea, insights about it, how many students understood what topic is not, it would be giving an insight about my classroom as well. It increases my efficiency. These evaluations done by automated evaluations would be increasing my efficiency, right? Allowing me to focus and interpreting the results and providing targeted feedbacks, everything I would be able to go on the basis of that. I would be able to give consistency in grading, which means most of the time what happens is after correcting 6 papers, we would be like, oh my God, I need to finish this off today itself. I need to distribute the paper tomorrow. So we would be in a rush to correct, right? We all would be in a rush to correct. While AI would be helping us in assessing or evaluating even the subjective answer sheets right now, they would be going through what the students have written. They would be summarizing what they have written, and they would be able to get a proper answer for the same. So definitely consistency would be there. It would be going through a set of rubrics, the given rubrics that we already have, and based on that rubrics only it would be working. Since it's technology, it won't be exhausted like we used to get, and it would be also reducing the time that we it would be also reducing the time that we actually would be using for majority of the time. For correction takes a lot of time, right? Also, it is used for data instructional improvement. Based on the data, we would be able to see that, okay, this student need to work on this particular topic. I would be able to understand. See, I can see the student performance dashboard over here, which student needs what, and everything related to that as well. I would be able to get individualized feedbacks, and I would be able to align with learning objectives and many more throughout, identifying the learning gaps, what's happening with, like, which particular topic the student is missing. I can conduct the formative assessment insights, like, okay, this particular topic I have to take the class once again because majority of the class hasn't got it. I would be able to understand a lot of insights from this particular data analysis. Once you finish with the data, the next thing is about our students' skills. So I have completed the topic. I have got good marks. The next thing I need is reward. So definitely we have to give rewards. Why don't we integrate technology over there as well? We can give the rewards through our platforms as well. There are many social media platforms. For many schools, there are social media platforms, right? Their own social media platforms are there where they can share their achievements, where they can share their graphs. Like we can keep a star of the month and we can say that, okay, this student is the star of the month for this particular grade, right? So students are getting a lot of good feedbacks. They're getting appreciated. They are happy. A positive learning atmosphere is created over there as well. Throughout, with the help of technology, we are able to bring a lot of differences for every student over there, right? So we are happy. Our students are happy. Parents are happy. They are seeing something that their child has done, right? They are sharing good things throughout. So that makes us all happy. Now, here comes the cons of technology. What happens over here is, I don't know how many of you feel this, but lately, very lately, I even discussed with my colleagues on the same. Um, I used to read a lot of books before. Now that I got involved in technology a lot, I got busy with certain things. Right now, when I start reading the books, I discussed this with one of my friends. I cannot sit for more than 15 minutes. My attention span has got decreased like anything. I don't know how many of you have gone through the same thing. I'm sure that many of you have gone through the same thing. One thing I have to say is Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts, whatsoever it is, the short 1 minute things, we just scroll down. We got bored out of we need new things to come around, right? So I'm losing all my attention span. If I'm having this situation, imagine my student situation right over there. At what point they would be at? Definitely something even devastating than my condition, for sure. Even if I'm there in the class, they might be using some tools. Like they would be playing games. Some students used to play football only during the time that I enter the class, they would be closing the tab. I work in a technology based environment. I have to say that. That's why my students are having tablet with them. So for sure, we all are facing that situation. Our students are going through even worse. So how can we tackle this issue? Only through organizing technology-based learning. We need to organize, we need to give some specific set of timing for everything. We need to understand how important the timing is. We need to focus on screen time of our students. We must give app-based restriction for our students as well. We should ensure that they are giving the fair share of time for reading books. Reading books are really helpful. We have library periods over there in our schools, but make sure that they are using it wisely and good enough. They are reading books, they are getting insights, right? There are many ebooks that are available for at least till the age of 13. I wouldn't recommend it because, again, using an ebook would be, they would be diverting towards other things very easily. So I would really wanted my students to, focus on the actual books rather than dedicating towards ebook, at least till the age of 13, right? And again, we must be updated about everything that is going around within our students. They might be having new games over there in the tablet. They might be finding new ways. Okay, my teacher is monitoring this. Okay, I should find some way to make sure that she's not monitoring it. So they might be using a screen guard or some other kind of Firefox kind of thing that would be blocking everything. That we can monitor. They might be uninstalling the app for which we kept monitoring them. They might be uninstalling that first, right? So they can do a lot of things related to it on tackling us, right? And we should expect that. We should expect that. We shouldn't expect the perfect ideal student all the time, right? Because students are like that. They will be doing it. So we should be expecting that. We should be actively monitoring them, whether what they are doing and how they are doing. Are they doing it in a good way? And also we must organize the things in the right way. Interactive boards in the schools, and everything should be in the proper way so that the eyesights. I told you the one specialty of interactive boards over there in the schools is that rather than the projector, they emit blue lights alone. But these interactive boards are like 50 to 60 percentage lesser blue light emission comes around. So we can use such things as well. Kindle books you might have seen, right? You can use that instead of giving for the students. Instead of using actual books, you can give, actual e-learning tablet platforms. You can give Kindle related books for reading. Even that's fine if you want to make sure that if you feel that paper is something getting wasted, you can go through that way as well. If you're concerned, if you're conservative about all those paper wastage, you can go through that way as well. One important factor we should be aware is about online safety of our kids. Our kids are vibrant, they are young, they are smarter than us. Their brain works much efficient, much powerful, much better than what we are today. So we should be able to we should be one step ahead of them. So we should be ensuring that our kids are safe from protection of cyberbullying. None of our kids should be going through that. Online safety measures, we should be protecting our students from cyberbullying. We should be actively going, we should be giving them counseling. We should be asking them everything is fine, right? We should be making sure that we are having a good control over them. We should be also making them aware about the fact about privacy and personal information. Our students should be aware about how important privacy and personal informations are all about. We should be also helping them in terms of, preventing them from online predation. We also should be aware about the academic integrity. Like it basically means that we should be having the platform, whatever we are giving, the gadget that we are giving, it should be having the things related to academics only, or it should be limited to the academics part from the school side. I'm talking. We should be ensuring that their academics is improving. It's not getting disrupted. We should also ensure that our students are having healthy digital habits, uh, maintaining distance between strangers to start with. We shouldn't be talking to strangers. We shouldn't be sharing anything that's our personal things with our strangers. We should not be involved in online or offline activities that are harmful or threatful towards ourselves. We should be making sure that our students are safe from all these things. We should be making sure that our students are aware about everything related to it. Also, we should be also making sure that our students are responsible for their social media use. Most of the time, we know what's happening in social media. One way or the other, they would be getting stuck throughout. So we should be having an idea about. We should be telling our students or making them aware about the responsible social media use and digital citizenship skills related to it. To be ethical, to be not to bully anyone, to be helpful for each other, to understand each other. Everything should come from us. We should be the role model for them in that part. Now, experimenting new things gives a different view on many things. Like what happens over there is when you learn a new course, I would really recommend this from my side to you. Learn a new course in every semester. You can start if you are a person who is very new towards computer or coding or anything. You can start with Python, Java, or anything. You can slowly start learning about it. If you're a math teacher, very good. You would be able to get the logic behind it. If you're a biology teacher, you can use your own skills. You can upgrade your own other skills, right? You would be able to use multiple skills together and learn a new thing every day. Why learning new thing every day is important? In one semester, take a course and do it. There are so many online platforms who would be helping you to develop your skill set in such a way. Surasa is having so many courses as well. You can go over there as well. So it would be giving you different insight, different views towards a single topic itself. You can teach different boards, students of different boards. Like I used to spend 1 hour of freelancing every day. Why I do that? It's because I take classes for international students so that I would be able to understand what kind of board that they are teaching and what's the difference that I can inculcate over here. I would be able to, I'm having a lot of insights. Okay, this is the way that they are teaching slopes over there for grade 7 students over there. This is the way that they are teaching polynomials over there for grade 11 students. I can use the same trick here as well. My students would have a view like that as well. So different boards have different views for sure. So you would be able to implement it over there as well. So depending upon your subject expertise, it would be enhancing your skills, and you would be able to get a different view, and you would be able to spread that view to your learners as well, your students as well, right? And to conclude, I would like to say that technology is here to help us teachers. It's never to destroy us. I hope I made my point very clear. Everywhere you can use technology, and it will only and only help us. No technology can replace us. No technology can replace us. We teachers are humans. Our students are humans. Only human to human interactions can understand each other's, pros and cons and help each other out. So technology are here to help. And we need to find the right balance on the usage of technology. We ourselves need to find the right balance. Then we can implement it on our students as well. We need to understand how at nights we might be spending hours and hours using scrolling through the Instagram at times, specifically teachers over there in the young era, Gen Z teachers, those who are over here. So they might be going through the same, right? And you must be using the right assets and resources, and you should be sharing the right things towards your students so that they would be having an awareness about the same. You should be conducting awareness classes. You should be providing a safer online environment for our students. Technology is powerful, and ensure the usage of the same in a safer environment. I really hope that we had a great session over there throughout. Um, I really like to say something related to Surasa teachers community. If you're very new over here, there is if there is someone who is from known Sura, I mean everyone over here in Surasa might have joined already, and you might have seen how amazing that platform is, where we share every new things that we face through in our schools or in our institutes and technology related things. What can help us teachers and every insights what we share over there in this platform, right? And it's really amazing. I have to say it's completely free as well. You can join over there, you can download their application, and you would be able to access tons of resources, and you would be able to celebrate your teaching experience over there as well. And you would be getting a lot of help from fellow teachers and everyone globally. You would be having a tie-up around with all the teachers and regarding your career, regarding your students, the technology aspects, everything you would be getting over here. So get connected using the Surasa's teachers community. You can scan this QR code over here, and you would be able to uh, download the app. I will be staying for a minute for you to, if anyone over here want to download it, you can go with it. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Any questions that you have, you can ask about the same over here. If you have any questions or something, you can put it over here. Freelancing teaching, yes, you can start by yourself. You can actually go into within yourself, and then you would be able to go with it. About freelancing teaching, I'm talking. You can take your own students, or there are many platforms. You can use LinkedIn, or you can use Rasa. There are so many people those are hiring for freelancing part. It's not necessary that you should teach a bulk of students or something. You can take any one student and teach them. You can ask, go to your neighborhood, And it's better if you can teach any underprivileged child, that's even better. But yeah, if you want, you can help in that way around.
Somebody has asked, how can we learn the different edtech tools? You want to answer that?
Yeah, you can actually, there are so many tools which are available. There is no, I mean, there is a course in Surasa itself related to the discussing about the tools. If you are taking PGCTL as a course, there is one specific course dedicated for it. It's about technology and the different tools that we use over there. You can learn it from there. I have got a lot of insight from there itself, then and there itself. You can also search about many tools that we can use depending upon what's the kind of requirement. Depending upon that, you can search on internet. So you would be having an insight about the same over there. It completely depends upon your requirement.
Well, one more question. How to create a one-stop space for students to access all the information, worksheets, notes, and etc.
For that, you need to create a database. You can start with, you have to understand Excel first. So if you are a person who is very new to Excel, it might be a little bit difficult, but I never took any courses in Excel. Trust me, I never took any courses in Excel. I did it by myself. I took around 2 months to create for the same thing. I spent 1 hour, 2 hours around every day. So I created my own Excel sheet. I started listing and understanding what different formulas in Excel do, and I started to do the things by my own by watching YouTube videos and many things like that. I never did a specific course for Excel. I understood what my requirements are. I connected it with the logic and I applied it over there. Again, if you're not able to get the logic, it's better to do a course on it. There are free courses on YouTube available. You can go with that for Excel. There are free courses available in Udemy as well. If you want, you can go there as well. So many course giving platforms are tech related. I'm not.
Tools for 5 to 6 year old kids. Are there any specific tools specifically meant for that age group?
There are so many specific tools that you can give. If you 5 6 year old students, you can use counting tools. There are so many softwares, or there are so many websites that are used for counting. Like one you took towards from one particular place to here, you remove it, it would be counted as one, and it would be speaking loud. We had some toys, if you remember, in our childhood. We used to play with it. You just drag and drop it towards this side, it would be sounding one, it would be making a noise of one. So there are so many applications, and basically gamification works a lot for small kids. Gamification is something that we need to focus, because they are into that age where they play, where they cherish about those things. So focus on gamification, and from there they would be able to take around. You can just search on internet about different gamification tools for the perspective topic that you want to talk, like teach. For example, if it's English, there are specified games for English. For science or EVS, there are specified games for science or EVS. For math, there is specified ones as well.
I think that must be helpful. So thank you so much, David, for joining in. Thank you for insights. Thank you for these answers. I'm pretty sure it would
Thank
have
you.
helped all the teachers out here. And
Thank
we
you.
would love to have many more sessions from you coming in the near future. So everybody,
Thank you.
let's keep our eyes on Surasa's platform. We might have more sessions by him soon. So thank you so much for joining in.
Bye, everyone.